Welcome to the Popcorn Talk Network, for the online broadcast network that features movie discussion, news, and interviews. Press 1. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. From the Popcorn Talk Network, the online broadcast network for movie talk, and the schmoes know, this is Meet the Movie Press, roundtable movie news and commentary from the industry's premier film journalists.
Happy Friday, everyone. Do you hear that? Hey, happy Friday. This is Meet the Movie Press. Real quick. Hey, everyone in the booth. Jeff Sneider, my co-host of Meet the Movie Press, can't hear anything. And do your microphone work? Say
hello. No.
Okay, it does work on my end. You just can't hear anything.
I cannot hear a thing.
Okay, so I'm going to cue this real quick. Be right in there. I'm going to riff a bit. Guys, hello, welcome. This is the last Friday Meet the Movie Press for the year. I just want to say that we're going on break December 18th for the holidays, meaning we're going on break for Star Wars, correct?
Yes, but I don't get why we don't have a show on December 18th. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But whatever. I know people need time to get home.
Yes, they do.
They have their vacations.
They need plenty of time. The people here.
It's just because I stay in Los Angeles and don't go anywhere for Christmas.
See, I go. Yeah, I go and I go and I do stuff. But guys, yes, sorry that we aren't going to be here. You won't get our thoughts for Star Wars. Maybe we'll try to figure something out. But we are going to be on holiday break, so this is the last Meet the Movie Press of the year, unless something changes. And you're all on the live chat right now at youtube.com/Popcorn Talk Network. You can join us here live right now. I see you all in there. Thank you so much. And guys, I love it. We are going to do a top 10 of the year. We are going to talk this week's news and probably a little bit of Star Wars, getting ready for next week. It's coming out. And I'm just riffing because Jeff Sneider doesn't have any sound.
Just do your thing.
You're good. Oh, he's good. Maybe it's good. Hold on.
All right.
Can you hear?
Yes.
Yes. Now it's official.
We'll get that sorted before the show then.
Yeah. Now it's official.
All right.
Oh, that was close. How are you?
Good. Rocky start there.
Rocky start.
Hi,
yeah.
everybody.
So let's do this again. I am Mark Reilly. I am managing editor of Geek Nation.
We'll edit all that out after. Jeff Sneider, film reporter, TheWrap.com.
We'll fix it in post. Hey guys, Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah and Happy Star Wars Day. No, not that.
There's no Star Wars Day. In fact,
yet.
I don't really anticipate a lot of Star Wars talk on this program.
No, we don't
in fact,
need to.
enough of the holiday greetings, Yuletide blessing bullshit.
Ooh, I
we
like
have a
it.
big show, man. We got to fucking dive in.
Let's do it. A lot of news this week that we're going to talk about, and I can't wait. We're going to talk about our top 10 list of the year so far.
Let's start. We're going to do Golden Globes first.
Yeah.
Then we'll do the news, and then we'll do top 10 lists and
Perfect.
year in review, whatnot.
Yes.
So Golden Globes. Do you pay attention to this stuff, Mark?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, what'd you think?
I think there are some movies I haven't seen, but I've heard nothing but good things, so it's not surprising in the least to me, and I'm really excited about a lot of what they nominated.
It was actually a pretty good announcement from the Hollywood Foreign Press Association.
Yeah, and it just seems different from years past. A lot of the reactions I saw online was, you got it right.
Well, there's no slap in the face, is you know.
Yeah, like maybe
What stood
SAG
out
Awards.
to me. The SAG Awards were a little weird.
Yeah.
But so for the Golden Globes, we have Spotlight and The Revenant and Room, which are all presumed Best Picture contenders, along with Carol.
Yep.
And Carol actually had the most votes, the most nominations out of any movie yesterday, and Mad Max, Fury Road. So everybody keeps going for this movie.
Yeah, that's the one that stands out the most is Mad Max. And it just makes me laugh because then I look on the other side, we'll get to it, the musical comedy, and I see The Martian, which I love The Martian, but it just seems funny that it's over in that category. So did they make room for Mad Max with that?
To me, it feels weird in general because I'm not sure I think of Mad Max as a quote-unquote serious movie.
Me neither.
People do. I mean,
It's very dramatic in the stakes for the character.
It's like I think of The Martian as a serious movie, but people could argue that the artistic merit, the balance of commercialism and artistry or whatever is roughly the same.
Yeah.
I don't know why critics groups and voting bodies are going for this movie. It's really good. I really enjoyed it.
You're talking Mad Max.
Yeah. it's just surprised me the fury with which everyone has gotten behind it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I liked the movie, but I didn't fall all over it, drooling, get fanboy, like, oh my God, it's the best thing since sliced bread. I liked it a lot. I mean, I said that. I'm like, yeah, I really liked it. And it was like, you hated it, unfollow. I'm like,
Right.
well, sorry.
Furiosa is awesome.
Sure, yeah.
Mad Max was like an afterthought in his own movie, and I just felt from a story level that they go in one place and then they turn around and they go back. It wasn't that much there, but I know that other people would disagree a lot and say that there is.
They would. I think it's becoming divisive a bit in this conversation.
It's one of these movies though where people are like, there's essays to write, there's like texts to read into, like the secret meaning of Mad Max, and I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a weird one.
Yeah, it is, but
it's great that it's in the lineup. I mean, I think it's really cool.
I appreciate them nominating it because I do see it. I see the merit. It's a finely made movie. It really is. So
and I can say the same about The Big Short, which seemed to lead the comedy nominees.
Sure did, yeah.
That's nominated along with Joy, The Martian, Spy, and Trainwreck. What a category! I mean, fucking Spy and Trainwreck are there. That's awesome.
I love that. I really
like both those movies.
I like Trainwreck more than Spy, but that's just me. I'm happy to see him there. Joy I have yet to see. Big Short I have yet to see. So, but I hear nothing but good things about The Big Short, and I was following along with your tweets last night about Joy.
Yeah, so I watched Joy last night, and the first half hour of this movie I thought was just a mess.
Yeah, you said you were like kind of falling asleep.
My roommate went in his room. He was like, I can't watch this anymore. And so I wasn't like reviewing mid movie as somebody had indicated, but like Justin had texted me about the Cate Blanchett stuff, which we will get into.
Yes.
And he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm watching Joy. He's like, what do you think? And I was like, I'm 30, 40 minutes into it. I'm not feeling it. And then it took off.
Yeah.
This guy, Bradley Cooper, enters the movie.
I know him.
And man, him and Jennifer Lawrence, they just crackle. They just got something.
Yeah, they should work together more often.
So once he enters the movie, Joy takes off, and I thought it was really, really good. You'll see if it makes my top 10 at the end of the year.
Okay.
At the end of the show.
Oh.
But anyways, so that's up against The Big Short and The Martian. I feel like those three are kind of the big three duking it out in that category.
Yeah.
Big Short, I just didn't love. I was really surprised.
I'm hearing good things. That the performances are great.
They're fun. They're interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's much to any of their performances, although Bale is my clear favorite.
Mm-hmm. And wasn't he nominated as well?
Him and Carell, I think.
And Carell, yeah, that's right. I need to see it. Again, it's going to be tough to hear some of these because you're lucky that you've seen all these.
You're right.
I get one pass, and my junior editor
goes. We give Mark
goes,
a lot of shit for not seeing movies on this podcast.
Yeah,
but
I
honestly,
love it.
I'm just seeing a lot. People have different access levels. And I was fortunate enough to cover AFI, like I don't know the Geek Nation.
You're commenting on the access level. We have one, and my junior editor kind of takes it because I have to kind of manage, so I miss some of these. Well, there are occasions like for Star Wars I get on the press screening.
Here's what you got to do with that film, with The Big Short, which I also have been doing for Anomalisa.
Yes,
which I mispronounced.
Is it Anomalisa?
I don't know. Anomalisa. That's the thing. The Rap has a pronunciation video guide that I shot yesterday. It is so fucking good, guys. It's hilarious.
Nice.
I don't know if it's up on the site yet, but if it is, check it out. And I think I butcher that one. But what you need to do for The Big Short is just email our friend Ashley.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
She'll take care of you.
Oh, my God. I didn't even think about that. Okay.
Shout out for Ashley, which means I have to give Evan a shout out since he's listening.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds
Evan,
good. I will do that. I will do that.
So, yes, The Big Short, The Martian, and Joy, those are the three. Mark Ruffalo got a nomination for Infinitely Polar Bear, a little Sundance movie from not even this past Sundance, the Sundance before that.
Yeah, and that's surprising. And I forgot I forgot about, since we blew past it, the one thing I do remember that is not included is Sicario in the Best Picture.
Sicario did get shut out,
and we'll get to that later.
Sure,
that is a travesty for me.
Just thinking about the Ruffalo Infinitely Polar Bear thing, yesterday there was news that Sony Classics, which also released Polar Bear, it finally got a release date for The Bronze, which opened Sundance this past year, and then got caught up in the relativity shit.
Okay.
That actress, Melissa Rock, I can't pronounce anything.
I'm with you,
it's
man.
really tough.
I'll probably be with you there.
She could find herself a Golden Globe nominee this time next year.
Really?
You
Okay.
know, with that same 18-month delay.
Yeah,
So
right.
The awards calendar, the way that it affects certain things, is interesting.
It is interesting. Yeah, well, Mark Ruffalo, I haven't seen...
Pacino got nominated for Danny Collins. Like, what?
Yeah. I can't believe it. It's I haven't seen... Like I said, I've heard mixed things about Danny Collins. So...
Yeah, I hadn't seen it yet.
Okay. So
I've heard mixed things, too. Some people really seem to like it, and others are calling it on
that's
some bullshit. I mean, other nominees that stood out? Is there anything else? I love that Amy Schumer got nominated.
Amy Schumer is having a fantastic year. I love her. And I love Trainwreck. I think it's a great movie. I think she was deservedly so.
I'm glad Lily Tomlin got nominated. That's a good performance.
Maggie Smith.
Johnny Depp got left out in the cold.
He sure did. You know what?
Did you like him as Whitey?
I did, but I didn't like the movie that much. I didn't feel it had anything. A lot of people, when I was going into it, they're like, oh, it's the next Goodfellas. I saw it. He was fantastic, as he always is, but it didn't do it for me.
Yeah, I'm not crying tears of injustice over this one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to argue with the 5 actors that they did choose. I really think Will Smith does a good job in Concussion, Fassbender, DiCaprio, Eddie Redmayne.
Yeah.
And I guess Cranston was the guy you could look at as having taken Johnny Depp's spot. But
Yeah, possibly. And I've heard Trumbo that I've heard not good things, actually.
yeah, I mean, it's like a classy HBO movie. It's a solid performance.
Well, yeah, it's Bryan Cranston. He's the best.
Alicia Vikander got 2 nominations. Nice to see her work in Ex Machina.
That was,
recognized.
Ex Machina is a fantastic movie.
Both the Carol leads. Yeah, no. So, not like a ton of... There was no really crazy surprise, I don't think. But I'm happy with it.
Well, good.
It's a good announcement.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Now, animated movie, we got the Anomalisa, Good Dinosaur, Inside Out, Peanuts, Shaun of the Sheep movie. Which
everybody loves Shaun of the Sheep.
Apparently so, because it's on the animated Best Picture nomination list. I haven't seen it.
I'm not going to see it.
I'm not either. I want to see Anomalisa and everything else. Inside Out.
Charlie Kaufman, if you're listening to this, call in and tell us how to pronounce it.
Yeah, I know, right?
So I don't butcher it.
Yeah.
There was a couple other things. I mean, I was glad Kate Winslet, Steve Jobs, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Hateful Eight. That was cool. But honestly, the craziest category for me is supporting actor.
Okay.
That deck is stacked.
Yeah, Paul Dano, Idris Elba. Jeez. Is it Idris?
Idris Elba, yeah.
I always pronounce it Idris. Okay.
I mean,
Mark Rylance, I totally buy.
Everyone is so good in this category. Mark Rylance for Bridge of Spies, Michael Shannon, 99 Homes, and Stallone for Creed. Great. What a pick. I love it.
I love it. And last week we were making fun of me and I hadn't seen Creed. I have seen it now. And my God, it's a good movie. So, Sly, yeah, he gave me all the feels in that movie.
All the feels.
Oh, he did. All the feels.
Goosebumps.
Just throughout, I'm like, oh, gosh, yeah. Okay, let's keep going.
And George Miller got nominated.
Yeah. Good for him.
Cool.
I know, it's kind of an interesting year for this. And again, I'm like a little back and forth because I'm like, damn it, I haven't seen a lot of these. So I'm going to have a busy December holiday.
I like the Sorkin versus Tarantino showdown, although I feel like both will lose to Spotlight.
Really? Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about Spotlight.
Well, there will be plenty more Spotlight on this show.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that probably does it for the Golden Globes. We can move on.
Those are the biggies. Yeah, Benicio.
But since you did see Creed.
Yes.
And you loved it.
Yes.
And I loved it.
Yes.
Let's talk about this guy, Ryan Coogler, who last week after the show, hate these Friday breaks because it means we have to wait a week to talk about it.
I know.
News emerged that Ryan Coogler will, it looks like, in fact, direct Black Panther for Marvel.
That is fantastic.
Wow. They got their man.
So he kind of said no at first.
It sounds like it, yes. Because last week on the show, I had talked about how I was glad that Ryan Coogler had passed on it because he could do anything after Creed.
Yeah.
Now that he has a sort of commercial hit under his belt.
Yep.
And it's still, catching on.
Yeah,
word of mouth is still doing well. I think
it's strong. Yeah, I mean,
serving it well.
For a Wednesday night when I tried to see it and
Right,
it was sold out. The word of mouth is obvious.
So yeah, last week at this time we thought he was not going to do it, and then Devin Faraci, a friend of the show.
Yeah.
See, it's like if news is breaking in the movie universe, it's a friend of this show. I hope.
They've in most cases
Unless
9 out of
it's
10.
Deadline.
Yeah, Deadline, right?
We got to have Boris Kidd on, or someone from the Hollywood Reporter one of these days. They're just very
Boris
particular.
The invite is out.
We would love to have Boris.
Yeah, I think I've tweeted at him, and he doesn't really answer me.
Anyway, so Devin dropped this Black Panther scoop.
Yes.
And
are you liking this now?
First of all, I always thought he would be a good choice. I didn't know why he would necessarily want to do it if he can keep getting his own projects financed.
Yeah.
But he also didn't have a lot in development. He's not someone who's attached to a ton of projects.
Right.
I don't know if he has been writing any scripts other than that thing with Michael B. Jordan about the education scandal in Atlanta.
Oh yeah, he's gonna
Wrong
kill
answer or something like
Yeah.
that. So but I get like he's taking the steps and he's working his way up the ladder. And this is a job it's hard to turn down. And he probably did have leverage. He's got a ton of heat with thanks to Creed. And it sounds like Marvel went back to him and were just like, all right, let's do it.
Did Marvel maybe like the first time around like slide an offer over and he slid it back and he went off and then Marvel went, damn it. And then they wrote a bigger number and slid it over and he went, oh, I can't. Meaning Brinks truck on the lawn.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people are motivated by money.
Yeah.
And some people are motivated by the experience and the material and the creative freedom they'll have to interpret it. And
sure.
I mean, maybe it's wishful thinking. I doubt that Ryan Coogler would have walked away from the project or taken the project because of money.
Okay.
That's just my idealistic thinking.
No, I agree with that because Look, Creed is arguably a franchise and a powerful franchise, meaning Rocky, okay? Now, he totally reinvented it, and, so he can probably bring that to Black Panther, I'm hoping. I mean, he's in the Marvel machine now, but we know that they do well. Directors do well there.
He had a ton of opportunities. I know you keep talking about the Creed and the franchise thing. It would have been. I don't know if that will have a sequel or not. And now it seems like it would certainly have to wait a while.
Yeah.
Since he's going to be immersed in this Marvel Cinematic Universe for a while.
Yeah, he is.
I think he's just a really great choice for the material. What he did, as you said, he elevated the Rocky movies and then took that franchise to a place it hasn't seen for a while.
Yeah,
where people were on their feet in the theaters. It wasn't like that for Rocky Balboa.
Yeah, right. I couldn't believe I was clapping. And I had tears in my eyes a lot of times too. And he didn't rely on nostalgia at all. He didn't rest on.
But he didn't rest on it.
He didn't rest on it. I just thought it organically fit the story, and it was so well done.
I can't say enough about Coogler. He's really talented, and I think it's awesome that Marvel is recognizing artists like that and hiring them onto these comic book movies and giving them a bit of a larger canvas to play on. Mm-hmm. So good for everybody on that.
Mac Tilly on the live chat says, was Coogler supposed to write the education scandal movie as well? He is. He's writing that, correct?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
We're assuming so because he wrote Creed, and did he write Fruitvale?
Fruitvale, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
he's a writer-director.
Yeah, he's one of those triple threat. Yeah, let him step in front of the camera and let's see what happens.
So yes, that was one corner of the Marvel Universe news, and the other is that yesterday our boy Justin Kroll, as I was passing out, having woken up early for the Globes announcement, dropped news that Cate Blanchett is going to join Thor Ragnarok.
That is so awesome. And well done, Justin Kroll.
What a scoop.
He's our most consistent guest, as well as very consistent on these scoops. Well done, man.
Yeah.
Hats off.
The idea that Cate Blanchett is going to join the Marvel Universe is pretty crazy. All sort of actresses of her stature have started taking these franchises. You look at some people like Kate Winslet and Naomi Watts in the Divergent series, or Julianne Moore in the Hunger Games movies. Like, this really isn't that different.
I guess it just didn't.
I don't want to call it a paycheck role.
No, yeah, I think she's going to bring.
Although she has been doing a lot of smaller indies that probably don't pay nearly as well.
Sure.
But it'll be exciting to see who she's going to play. I'm sure she'll be a majestic sort of being.
Yeah.
Devin, I think, threw out a couple of different ideas. I don't know the Thor stuff.
I'm not big on the source material. I've seen
it was Hela,
and
Hela is responsible for the underworld.
Hela good
in that universe. So
there we go.
She
that
would
makes
essentially
sense.
Be the devil, who is Loki's daughter.
I think that would be fucking cool.
Oh, I love that. Thank you, Mark, for the source material education.
There was a couple like Enchantress. There were a couple of ideas that people were throwing out. I have no idea. Valkyrie was the other one, right?
Right, Valkyrie. And Mac Tilly on the live chat said she turned down Wonder Woman. Did they offer it to her?
That sounds right. It was that same role that I'd heard Nicole Kidman was in talks for.
Right.
And now it looked like Robin Wright ended up getting.
Okay. Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah. I didn't hear that.
Well, she was. I mean, the whole Wonder Woman thing was very weird.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there was an official announcement that nobody received.
I didn't hear this at all. I don't think it made news.
I feel like they announced the whole cast all at once. I feel
maybe
like
they did. We got to look into that. Yeah, I'm bad at my job. Obviously,
I don't fucking. Isn't Wonder Woman shooting though?
Wonder Woman is shooting now.
Right, and I mean Nicole Kidman is definitely shooting something else.
Okay, Nathan Kaiser says Miumbe said that Blanchett turned down Wonder Woman. Never heard a name in the rumors before now. Any truth? Yeah.
No. That was the name that we were tracking at the time.
That makes sense. You know, when it comes to Blanchett, I believe that this is like, for me, when this news dropped, I'm like, it reminded me of Robert Redford in Winter Soldier. I went, it's like that kind of prestige for me. Where I was like, oh,
I think that's what Devin wrote too. He was just like, once they got Redford, anything was on the table. They could get anybody.
You're kind of like going, and look at Redford was great in Winter Soldier.
He was good, yeah.
So if the part is working and the script is awesome, then it's going to be huge. All right, I see a Wonder Woman report on the screen in front of me. We're looking for confirmation of the. I'll never be able to look at that. I have like the worst. Oh wait, hold on. Robin Wright. Yep.
Yeah, Danny Houston, David Thewlis, Ewan Bremner.
Wow.
That's the Wonder Woman cast, man.
Mark,
it just snuck out.
That?
It was very like.
That was quiet. How did that? Yeah. How did that miss? The look, we cover everything. This is what we would cover.
You missed it. You blew it, Mark.
We missed it. We blew it. Okay. Well, that's interesting.
The press release was from Business Wire.
Well, that's why.
That's how you announce Wonder Woman casting these days, apparently.
How? Business Wire? Look, Collider missed it. Screen Rant missed it. You didn't miss it.
Don't start accusing people of missing because
maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I
don't know.
I'm calling it out there. It's our fault. We did not cover it. So,
let's move on from Thor.
Yes,
I suppose. Right.
Let's move on. Yeah. What else?
The Dark Tower is something we need to discuss.
Yes. I am in love with this idea. Not a lot of people are. Fans of the Dark Tower are chattering on the forums of Geek Nation. What's your take? And
I haven't read The Dark Tower, so I have no emotional allegiance or anything to this.
Yeah.
It seems to me like Idris Elba versus McConaughey would be fucking awesome.
It is. Yeah. I've read The Dark Tower.
I love that idea. I think I like it a lot more than Javier Bardem.
Yeah.
Sorry. I think it could really work. Now, Mike Fleming dropped that. It was like a frontrunner type story, which is, maybe a little rare for him. I managed to get confirmation that like that is the current idea for this project. Like, McConaughey's talks are progressing. They turn their attention to Roland, and it sounds like McConaughey is going to play the Man in Black. But Kroll was throwing shade.
He was.
And THR didn't pick it up either.
Really?
So clearly there is a conflicting school of thought about whether Idris Elba is the guy or whether he's just one of several guys.
Okay. Because the fans of the source material, and I'll just go over there, trades aside, they're not liking Idris for this part. And I don't want to bring up the color card. I don't want to bring up any of that.
That
because
card seems to make no sense. People were like, you don't know, like, don't. How does race play into the Dark Tower again?
It doesn't.
It doesn't. Yeah.
No, it doesn't. Just because back in the 80s when these books came out and the cover shows a white man as Roland, doesn't mean that we can't. I mean, the part is, it doesn't ever say, Roland steps into the dirt and he's a white man and he pulls his... No, it doesn't. So for me, Idris Elba is perfect for this part. I would love to see him in it.
I don't know who else other people are sort of hoping for.
Yeah, at one point, wasn't it Javier Bardem was going to play the gunslinger?
Yeah. And according to Fleming's report, it came down. It still is, came down to Elba,
really,
and Javier. Sorry.
There we go. Well,
yeah, we'll see. I mean, a frontrunner story suggests there isn't a choice yet. It's like going to be the choice. It wasn't an in talk story, so maybe the door is still open for a different combination there.
Okay.
But I do think it would be prety cool.
Yeah, I think it would. And in the chat room, you guys agree.
He's going to get something really big, Idris Elba. Like
he is
on the cusp.
I love
He was
that.
Almost Apocalypse, as we sort of...
That's right.
Right, yeah.
That's right.
And that trailer came out today. Let's talk about that.
That's a nice segue right there.
Look at that.
That was perfect timing. The X-Men trailer dropped, guys, pretty early this morning. It had dropped already when I woke up.
Yep.
I watched it immediately and wasn't impressed. Not at all.
Yeah, it didn't really do much for me.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's not going to be awesome. I mean, Bryan Singer knows how to make an X-Men movie. I can't wait.
I hated the last one.
I
hated Days of Future
See,
Past.
I love it. It's one of my favorites. I still think Bryan Singer still did the two best X-Men in my mind, X2 and X-Men Days of Future Past. Those are my two favorite X-Men.
X2 is dope. I'm looking forward to Oscar Isaac's Apocalypse.
Yeah.
I liked his gravitas in this trailer. It was just everything else around him that I didn't love. Jennifer Lawrence, I want to fight. I'm here to fight.
Yeah, it was kind of those.
All these X-Men are just looking for a fight.
They are. Well, they're mutants. The one thing though that I will say about the trailer, there was a wonderful shot where it looked like Apocalypse is grabbing Professor X, and he just looks like he's growing and just is going down like a giant.
Yes.
That was pretty cool.
That was cool.
I was like, wait a minute, that's rad.
I had just woken up. I was like, are my eyes playing tricks on me?
Yeah, so that was great. I know, yes, everybody on the live chat bringing up Devin Faraci. Yes, he did torch it. He did not like it, and he laughed his ass off at the last... spoiler alert for the frickin' trailer? No, go watch it. He did torch it, saying that was so funny, the last shot of Professor X being bald. Him looking at it.
That was like this big reel. It was like, boom.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, well, we saw it. Yeah, he's bald. Is
that like a thing?
Yeah, he's bald in the source material. So it's been
bald in the source.
I know
coming. Fucking Professor X, bro. It's just like, who cares?
Hey, bro, don't tase me. I get it. So you didn't like it. I mean,
didn't like it. It didn't give me goosebumps. It wasn't like the Suicide Squad trailer where I was like, oh shit, call my friends, tell them to watch the Suicide Squad trailer.
Right.
Whatever. X-Men Apocalypse. This franchise doesn't really do it for me anymore, and it used to.
Wow.
Which is weird.
That's okay. I think for me, I'm going to see it. I want to see what they could do after Days of Future Past. This is a great storyline, the Apocalypse storyline from the X-Men comics. I can't wait to see how
I like
they do
the
it.
idea of the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, and
me too.
That stuff excited me.
A lot of good ideas
fan.
in the trailer. It didn't hit me.
There's a few other things to discuss before we die, because we need to get to top tens.
We got to talk.
A couple of things. The Mummy, Sophia Boutella is going to be the Mummy.
Yeah,
the girl from Kingsman. That's really cool. She's got like this, quasi-Egyptian look. This kind of exotic.
I think it's great. We've been hearing about that they were going to maybe do a female mummy. We've heard Tom Cruise.
That's right. We had
mix.
heard that there was a female mummy, and when I was talking about Jessica Chastain before,
right,
that wasn't for the female mummy part. There's also a female lead.
There you go. Okay.
So it sounds like it'll be Cruise. He'll have a female lead. Justin Kroll, I think, has said that Chastain has passed on it. I'm not sure about that. I know they really wanted her for it. Like I said, Tom Cruise wants to work with Jessica Chastain.
Yeah.
I don't know. They'll probably end up with somebody else as the female lead.
Okay.
Then there's Sophia Boutella as the Mummy, and then the role that Idris Elba, I'm told, passed on possibly for the Dark Tower, has been described as that Nick Fury of the Monsters universe. So it's not Cruise.
Whoa, wow.
Who would be the interconnective tissue guy. It would have been the other male lead.
Okay. So if it
which
was...
they wanted Idris Elba for.
Idris Elba, he is that... That's interesting. The Nick
like
Fury.
I said, the guy's on the cusp. So,
Yeah.
Maybe Fleming's story was just about adding a bit of pressure to, like...
Yeah,
have
Scoot
Sony lock him
along.
up before another franchise does. We'll see what the future holds for Idris Elba.
This shared, just to touch briefly, this shared monster universe is interesting to me, but also it's like so dangerous. I feel like I don't know why. We're like, is this the last thing that could blow up horribly as like the shared universe, the death of the shared universe?
It could,
because it's like
dude,
it sounds really good.
Alex
on
Kurtzman
paper.
and Chris Morgan are overseeing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Chris Morgan obviously has Fast and Furious franchise under his belt, but it's enough to give you pause.
It's giving me pause, as well as the G.I. Joe Transformer shared universe over there.
That's different. I mean,
totally different.
I have more confidence in Universal's monster universe than anything with Transformers.
That's very true. I think I do too. So
that blew its goodwill long ago.
Right.
Ang Lee moved his Thrilla in Manila boxing movie over from Universal
this is so interesting.
to Sony, to Studio 8.
Yeah.
It was really funny. So as soon as that story dropped that it had changed homes, I reached out to people because I'd heard a long time ago that David Oyelowo was going to be playing Joe Frazier. And as I waited for that, Kroll came in and Fleming me essentially.
Oh.
And he dropped that into his story about the Studio 8 stuff.
Nice.
So then I had to one-up Justin, and I also heard Ray Fisher, who's Cyborg.
Yes, that's right.
Ray Fisher got Cyborg on the strength of his work as Muhammad Ali on stage.
Okay.
And so I'd heard, obviously that Ang Lee really liked this guy. So I put his name in the story. It sounds like Oyelowo is still the favorite to play Joe Frazier. I don't know if they'll have to go back to the drawing board for Muhammad Ali because Ray Fisher may not be available with Justice League.
Right.
But it's just a really
that.
interesting project to me because I am excited to see an Ang Lee boxing movie in 3D between Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier.
I think I can't agree with you enough. And this Ang Lee doing a boxing movie with that particular story. I mean, come on, that's a legendary fight.
I've never seen Ali.
You've never seen Ali?
It's something I've meant to correct a long time. Like I have brought up the iTunes menu and everything this year 3 or 4 times and never committed.
It's a great movie. It's not, for me, it's just kind of
So I'm still looking forward though. I know people are like, well, we just got an Ali movie. I'm still looking forward to a Muhammad Ali movie.
Well, yeah, I get it. But for this, it's the Thrilla in Manila, and it's Ang Lee. So that alone gets me. I just want to see it. So, all right.
A couple last things before we go to the top 10.
Sure.
Strangers 2 got a release date. There's going to be a Strangers 2.
I missed this.
And there's also going to be a Train Spotting 2.
Well, Train Spotting, yeah.
Decided to come back last week.
I know.
TriStar got that deal.
That's the best. I can't.
I know we've talked about this, so we won't spend much time on it. He's pumped. I'm a little nervous about it, but it's cool that they got the gang back together.
The fact that they got the gang back together and Danny Boyle is back, and they're going to adapt Porno, the book, the sequel to the book. It's just both books, Trainspotting and Porno, are fantastic books. So.
Mark has lit up here. I'm looking forward to some more Begbie myself.
Begbie is awesome.
He's my favorite.
Yeah, he is. He's great.
So that's going to sequel. Strangers is getting a sequel. Allegedly.
Yes, and is please the director Brian Bertino. He is not back.
I think it'll probably be somebody else.
I don't know then. Then we might, I can understand if he was coming back to direct it, but I think it might be a long wait, but then again, it's a horror movie.
It has been a hell of a long wait.
Hey, we'll see. I'm all for it because I'm a horror fan.
I just like those 3 masks, and it's weird knowing that they're still out there on the lam.
Yes, they're out there on the lam, but that movie is so, I just think of that scene with Liv Tyler sitting there just kind of quietly, no music whatsoever, crackling fireplace, guy walks in with the mask, does a little head tilt, and walks back.
That was such
Fuck
a great
you,
trailer.
Strangers. Oh,
you know
man.
what? Let's end the news there. I want to get to these top 10.
Let's do
I want
it.
to have time. I don't want to run out of time. It's all about time.
And I want to hear what you have to say because this is awesome.
So, drum roll.
Yes. Everybody, we're doing the top 10 list for the year, and it'll probably change. I think we should do one maybe before the Oscars, like once.
Yeah, no, we can always update these. These are open to revision.
Yes.
And
especially for me, who haven't seen shit.
And before Mark and I were going to trade off one for one.
Yeah.
And before we're going to talk a little bit about some of the worst films of the year really quickly, too.
Yeah.
I need to do a little list of a preface.
Okay.
You don't get to do this.
No, I can't.
A preface that there's like 10 films that I haven't seen yet.
Okay.
That could be on a top 10 list potentially. So those films are like The Tribe,
Right.
The Danish Girl,
Yeah.
Son of Saul.
Yeah, I've heard.
Like
Yeah.
Those are Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm. Got to see that.
That's 4 big movies that my top 10 list won't be locked in
Yeah.
with until I see them. And obviously Star Wars, I'm sure, for both of us as
Yeah,
well.
Star Wars,
So
too.
that's a little caveat about movies that we haven't seen.
Yeah.
What were some of the worst movies that you saw before we get into the best?
Oh, God.
Is there anything that stood out as just like atrocious to you this year? I'm going down the list. Do you keep a list?
I don't keep a list
You
for the
should keep a list,
atrocious
Mark.
ones.
Well, you should just keep a list of everything that you see, though.
Yeah, I can't. I know. I'm trying to think. I got kind of lucky. Well, not lucky. Obviously, I don't see everything sometimes because of my schedule. So when it comes,
Mark is very busy.
I'm very busy, man. I'm a very important man. Not really. When it comes to like bad movies, atrocious movies,
Yep.
like if I get enough warning, I'll probably not go and look at it. So nothing's jumping out. What about
Okay.
you? I'll probably agree if
I have 19 movies listed under my just bad movie
Wow.
list.
Okay.
Now a lot of these are like lower budget horror movies, and so I
Okay.
don't hold really that against them.
Okay.
The ones that were just real head scratchers, other than Hunger Games Mockingjay.
I would put mine there too.
Just
I
so
did not
bad.
like Mockingjay Part 2.
I thought Dark Places, the Charlize Theron movie,
Okay.
based
Didn't see
on
it.
a novel by the Gone Girl author, that was terrible.
Okay, didn't see it. So.
Sean Penn's The Gunman was terrible.
I didn't see that either. I do know there was some. I think the Bob Team Bob, Box Office Breakdown on here. They liked that movie.
The Gunman?
Yeah, it was JTE and
man.
Bobby
I was like,
Finstock.
how do you get Sean Penn and Javier Bardem and Mark Rylance and all these people and just make like a crappy action movie?
I don't know.
Same goes for the amazing cast of Child 44, the Tom Hardy movie. That was
Right.
not very good.
Didn't see that either.
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four.
Hard to leave that off the list.
Yeah.
Crimson Peak sucked. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. No, I hear it's beautiful looking.
Rock the Casbah with Bill Murray.
Yeah.
True Story with James Franco and Jonah Hill. That was
yeah.
lifeless.
Yeah.
And then a couple of vanity movies, essentially. Ryan Gosling's Lost River. I love my boy Ryan Gosling, but that movie
Yeah.
is insufferable.
That's what I
and
hear.
then Chris Hemsworth, Black Hat.
Yes. Yeah.
That was not a good movie, nor was In the Heart of the Sea. I don't think I've even updated the rankings with that yet. But
I know. I'm hearing
dude,
that.
that movie
That's too bad.
washed out.
Really. It's
So.
just okay.
That was sort of the bad stuff of the year,
Yeah.
which brings us to our top 10. We got about 15, 20 minutes to discuss it.
Let's do it.
So let's trade off. You want to start?
Oh yes. Sorry, Poltergeist remake. One of my.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't think that was that bad.
Oh, it was bad. It's for me though. It's because
Right, you love the original.
The original is, in my top 5 horror movies all time, and I saw it as a carbon copy ripoff. So, anyways, thank you very much, CC Scorsese Videos on the live chat for reminding me. Let's go to the top 10, and you want me to start with number 10?
If you have it in front of you, yeah.
I have it in front of me. Number 10, Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation.
Interesting choice. I like
Hit
it.
the top 10 for me. And number 10. Again, guys, I haven't seen Hateful Eight. I haven't seen The Revenant. So this, same caveat. I might have to update this.
We've got a lot of caveats.
Yes.
Rogue Nation, that's a great call.
Rogue Nation, I mean, it's not often you can view, they actually caught lightning in a bottle for a 5th entry. That is insane to me. I look at it as enjoyable. I look at it as Christopher McQuarrie comes out and just nails it both in the writing and directing.
Mm-hmm.
Rebecca Ferguson just breathed new life into this movie. She's coming back for 6.
And it's not about the biggest explosions and blowing
No,
shit up. Like
no.
that, it's just that opera house sequence that
so
Corey does
beautiful.
is yes, it is so well choreographed.
Yep.
It's like this visual dance, this
Yep.
action. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was great. Number 10 for me.
Yeah.
This is the only I have a clear top 9 this year. And so
Okay.
there's a lot of movies that I would put in the 10 spot.
Yeah.
I've always found my personal view is that the 10th spot is the passion pick.
Okay.
So, if I look at my rankings right now, The Walk is actually the number 10 movie
Really?
I ranked on
that's awesome.
on my list, just because the theatrical experience.
Sure.
I hadn't felt anything like that in a while. Like I was freaking out during The Walk.
It made me. It gave me vertigo.
Yeah.
For sure. Like there was so many. I was like.
So like that was in contention. Steve Jobs is the best written movie, the best screenplay of the year. Inside Out, the best animated movie of the year.
Mm-hmm. Are these on your list, or are you?
This is like the preamble to the 10th spot.
List. Okay.
Creed had me on my feet. Bridge of Spies made me like just admire Spielberg. Like it's workmanlike but solid.
Yeah.
So all those were in contention for 10, but because I think you have to go with the passion pick.
Okay.
If you've been paying attention to my Twitter feed this year, there's one movie that I think I've been like hyping more than most.
Okay.
And so I've decided to give that the 10 spot, I think, this year, and that's going to be the Stanford Prison Experiment.
Oh yeah, you have been talking a lot about that.
I just thought what Kyle Patrick Alvarez did with that film was really impressive. Mm-hmm. I love the performances he gets from the young cast. It's just a really fucked up, twisted story, and that's my jam. And that is going to be number 10 this year.
That was your Halloween costume as well.
Yes, it was.
Nobody knew what you were.
Nobody had any idea. They all thought I was Lieutenant Dangle from Reno 911.
That's right.
Yes, congrats. Stanford Prison Experiment. Definitely check it out on iTunes.
Okay, I got to see it. I mean, yeah, you've been. I should just have made a note to see it because of your passion behind it. So
yeah,
I apologize.
Number
for not following
9.
up. Number 9 for me. You mentioned it, and it went back and forth with my number 8, and I was kind of moving them around a little bit. Bridge of Spies. I'm sorry, but Mark Rylance in that movie stole the movie for me. That was, and then it's Spielberg, and then it's Tom Hanks just doing.
Hanks is so good, and he didn't get nominated this year. Everyone talking about the Depp snub. Like Hanks was the snub again.
It's because he's. You know why he's so good in that movie? It's because he doesn't do anything that makes you go, whoa. He just is consistently awesome. Him having a cold throughout. Come on. So. It's beautiful. Bridge of Spies is beautifully shot.
It's a great movie to take to your dad too. When was the last time you took your dad to a movie?
Exactly. So I had to put it there because Spielberg. It was so quietly in this conversation that nobody's really putting it on their best of. I
agree. I think it will be a Best
Oscar
Picture nominee.
I hope so.
I think that the Academy, I could see them responding well to that movie.
Yeah. But, okay, so that's my number 9.
9 for me will be The End of the Tour. The David Foster Wallace movie. I just fell in love with it at Sundance. It was the best movie about writers that I've seen in a long time. Jason Segel's great as David Foster Wallace, and Jesse Eisenberg I just love as that kind of like literary type.
It is one of the best movies ever. I love this movie.
Is it on your list? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. We'll get.
I'm not going to tell you where it is, though.
That's 9 for me. Yeah, we'll let you get to it. I don't want to kill the suspense.
Yes.
So, Mark, we'll talk about that more later. I'll do 8. My 8. 8 for me is another Sundance movie. I didn't see it at Sundance, though. Okay. So I didn't have that magic, but it still created magic for me on the Fox lot.
Ooh, I like this.
And that was Me and Earl and the Dying Girl.
Oh, yeah, man. I got to see this movie, and I missed all the screenings. I missed seeing it in theaters, and I'm missing it. It was on my download streaming, and I'm like, to my girlfriend, hey, can we watch this? You
got to be in a certain mood to watch it. Obviously, it is about young people with cancer, which is a little depressing, but they find the heart and the soul in this film. And Alfonso Gomez-Rejon is a director. I really look forward to seeing what he comes up with. And Olivia Cooke, by the way, is going to be a gigantic fucking star.
Yeah? Good.
So that was my 8. What is your 8?
My number 8 is Steve Jobs. I'm just going right into it.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, look, it kind of bombed at the box office. I think it's very particular. Like, I think people maybe think of Steve Jobs as somebody else. The writing and the performances, it just got me. And I wish it had more. I mean, it's getting buzz. It definitely is the performances. But I think hands down, at least for now, Michael Fassbender killed it.
I agree. Fassbender,
Man,
he may be the best male performance I've seen this year.
he is for me right now. Again, haven't seen Revenant. I hear
Which
DiCaprio.
is so funny, just with all the shit that we talked about the project and him sort of before. Because I was super skeptical. I don't think he looked anything like Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
I was so much more excited about Christian Bale playing Steve Jobs.
Me too. Me too.
Fassbender went through the ringer, but
And
that's a hell of a performance.
like maybe 5 minutes into this movie, I could not see Michael Fassbender anymore.
Yeah.
I was like,
Disappeared.
that looks like Steve Jobs now. Like, and the performances across the board were fantastic. And I'm glad Kate Winslet got nominated for a Golden Globe. She is, I mean, you can't, they just worked so well together.
So far, so good. What is your 7?
My number 7 is Straight Outta Compton.
Cool.
Yeah, how could you not like my lists are all, you know, again, I was moving things around, I was stuck on this one for a while, but Straight Outta Compton just is one of those movies. It just was so good. Again, I talk about lightning in a bottle. Like you hear about the casting. When I heard about Ice Cube's son playing him, I'm like, really? And then you see him and you're like, oh, Jesus.
Right. Who else could have played him?
Who else could have played him? And the way it's handled and the way it's written and the performances across the board. And I mean, yeah. So I can't praise it enough.
Okay, my 7 is Room.
I gotta see. You see, you're gonna have a lot of these where I'm gonna be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Room is
a terrific little movie. It's a tough little movie.
Yep.
But Brie Larson, I think Brie Larson is headed for an Oscar.
Yep, that's what I hear. Nothing but good things.
It's hard. Like Jennifer Lawrence was so good last night in Joy, but
Yeah.
I think Brie Larson's probably heading for that Oscar. And I haven't seen Saoirse Ronan in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I hear that's the
Either
other
way,
one.
that's 3 very talented young actresses.
Yeah.
We're going to be set for the next couple of decades. Room just, it made me cry. It had me on the edge of my seat. And that little kid, Jacob Tremblay, is a fucking find and a half.
Yeah, I hear nothing but good things about this movie.
Yeah.
So,
Number 6 for you, Mark?
number 6 is Creed. Yep,
Oh, yeah.
almost cracked the top 5. But you heard what I had to say.
That was close to 10 for me. I really came close to putting Creed on.
Yeah.
We've talked about it obviously on the show enough.
And endlessly love this movie. On my feet, clapping, crying, Sylvester Stallone, all the feels. Yeah, Creed.
6 for me, Demolition, which did not come out this year.
What is
I saw it at
Demolition?
Toronto. It was
Okay.
the opening night film with Jake Gyllenhaal
Okay.
and Naomi Watts. It comes out next spring. And I loved it. As soon as that movie was over, and I've been a big Jake fan for a while, but like I had to go file, I had to go write something, but I made time to go to the Demolition party because I was like, if he's there, I know I can get to him, and I have to tell him just how fucking good I thought he was. It's from Jean-Marc Vallée, who directed Dallas Buyers Club and Wild, which was, I thought, underrated last year. So yeah, I just really like Demolition. It recalled like this sort of 70s character study kind of thing.
Yeah.
Check it out. The trailer is available online.
I mean, you'll see with Jeff's pick versus my picks. I mean, he's dropping
It's
some
artsy
major.
fartsy.
But yeah, but like that's good because you're seeing these, and these artsy fartsy movies need to get out there more. So I appreciate you doing this.
Well, yes, Demolition, I am in your corner. I was
Yeah.
just really impressed by the quality of the writing and the young kid in it, Judah Lewis.
Yeah, nice.
Number 5 for me.
Ooh, yeah, we're hitting the top 5, guys.
5 is going to be The Revenant.
Damn.
Just fucking what an accomplishment for Alejandro
Yes.
Gonzalez Iñárritu.
I know this is one of my movies. It's going to be my jam. I know it probably will
you'll
hit.
take it.
Yeah, it's because Birdman was, I believe it was it my top
Beautiful,
movie
it's
last year?
cold, it's bitter, it's manly and macho.
Yeah, and the trailers are brutal. I mean, it was when we were in Creed. The Revenant trailer came out, and it was just like to see it that big just in the trailer. I'm like,
It's
Okay.
gorgeous filmmaking. I like those revenge type movies.
Yeah.
Obviously DiCaprio is great and Tom Hardy is fucking awesome.
yeah,
It's been weird. Actually, I'm surprised Tom Hardy hasn't gotten more awards love.
For that?
Yeah.
He looks fantastic in it. When he's talking, like, well, we did what we had to do.
The cinematography is obviously going to win another Oscar, and the score is gorgeous. So check out The Revenant when that comes out, either on Christmas or January 8th, depending on where you live.
Yeah.
What was your number 5, Mark?
Oh, wait. Cracked the top 5. This one, I didn't know where to put it for the longest time, but I had to put it in my top 5. It was even close to number 3, number 2, and I was moving it around. Ex Machina. Number 5.
Yep, cool movie. That's like this year's cool movie.
Oh, yeah, it's cool, and I'm so glad. How do you pronounce your name?
Alicia Vikander.
Alicia, because I always want to say Alicia. Alicia was. I'm so glad she was nominated, and this is one of those movies, guys. You got to see.
It's a really haunting kind of work.
It's scary, like not scary. I mean, it's scary thinking that world could be.
It's coming, Mark.
I know.
It's coming for you.
It's just really interesting. So, and Oscar Isaac, I mean, just across.
And Donald Gleason, like,
yeah,
he's in The Revenant too.
Yeah,
really good.
That's right. All right. So, did you do your number 5?
Yeah, I did. The Revenant was 5.
Oh, that's right.
Number 4 for me is going to be Sicario.
Oh, okay.
Sicario is...
I'm glad it's in your top 5.
Just a fucking brutal, nasty little movie.
Yeah, and so good.
I loved it. I've been listening to the score.
The score is
Drive
amazing.
around L.A. at night and listen to the Sicario score, and you'll feel like you're ready to go kill someone.
Yeah, and do it with your night vision goggles, because that last the climax scene when they're going through the tunnels. Good Lord.
The biggest snub for me this award season seems to have been Benicio.
Yeah.
I can't believe he wasn't nominated yesterday.
I mean, I was watching.
Guy's fucking awesome.
I'm watching the movie Sicario going, that's best actor right there. I mean, he is phenomenal. He is phenomenal.
Even Brolin, who
Brolin was fantastic.
He was really good. I'm not a big Brolin guy.
Yeah.
But he was awesome. It's just I love movies like that, and that one delivered the goods. Denis Villeneuve is great.
Yeah,
such
across the board. I walked out of there,
filmmaker.
And I was texting my junior editor, Alex Welsh, because he loves this movie, and I'm like, dude, Brolin. Yes, I know, Benicio del Toro. Brolin stole it for me in a lot of scenes. So, anyways, all right, that was your number 4, right?
Yes. What's your 4?
Inside Out. Inside Out is my number 4. Of course, it's a Pixar movie. Of course, it's pretty high up there. I love Pixar, and I love that they came back with an original movie, and it killed me. I was crying a lot.
I was gonna say, did you cry, you big softy?
Yeah,
I cried too. I saw it at CinemaCon.
Yeah,
they showed it to us early. Inside Out's a beautiful film.
It's beautiful, and it's my type of movie.
Wise beyond its years.
Yeah, it really is.
It's a very surprisingly mature film.
Yeah.
It's just the themes that it has to deal with about memory and loss and that kind of stuff.
And, I mean, they were talking about depression without talking about depression.
Right.
It was fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah, that's how you sort of advance the art form and give animated movies a good name.
Yep.
Number 3 for you.
Number 3 is The Martian. It was almost like I walked out of The Martian going, that was my favorite movie of the year, and then I saw Sicario the next day. But The Martian was, I just hands down, it was probably one of the best times in the movie theater I've had. Just the humor in it.
Yep.
The shoot, everything. God, the effects. Matt Damon. I just loved it. So
me too. I'm looking at my list online here, and it is technically number 11 right now.
Oh, The Martian is okay.
Yeah.
Didn't even crack.
It was just solid commercial blockbuster. Like that's what I want from a blockbuster.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah,
and,
that's a great way to put it.
Nice to see Ridley Scott get his mojo back. Number 3 for me, I stayed silent when we were talking about it before, was Straight Outta Compton.
Nice.
Straight Outta Compton was number 3 out of 200 fucking movies this year.
Nice.
I thought it was great. I thought Jason Mitchell, that's another one who's like, there's an embarrassment of riches in the supporting actor category this year.
Right.
Jason Mitchell as Eazy-E is one of the most impressive screen debuts I think I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere, and
the movie had such energy and life and meaning. It was important.
I'm so glad.
I absolutely loved what Universal did with it, and F. Gary Gray, my hat is off to him.
Yeah,
so that's my number 3.
Nice. All right, so I did my number 3. Number 2, End of the Tour.
Wow.
Yeah,
this is so I'm so surprised that this would be number 2 on your list. Good for you, man.
No, I got to see it finally. I streamed it, and tears, just enthralled by the performance. Jason Segel, why isn't he not nominated? Why isn't he?
We need more slots.
Yeah.
We need more
and
supporting actor
and
slots.
it's making me sad that it actually seems like it's going to be overlooked completely going into the Oscars.
And
It's just so phenomenal.
You never know. See, I wish that had like a screenplay nomination.
Thank you.
The writing is what really soars in that.
I mean, and it's so funny. My girlfriend's reading Infinite Jest, and she's just. I mean, that got her too, and we're sitting there. I don't think we spoke a single word as that movie started.
It's written by a playwright. It feels
like that.
It's like Steve Jobs or Hateful Eight in that regard, where it feels like it could be a play almost.
Absolutely, it's hands down one of those movies. The reason when I said all time, I mean that. I mean, it got me. It's because I want to be a writer, and I see myself in a lot of those characteristics, both writers, both Jesse Eisenberg and Jason Segel. I'm sitting there going, "Oh my God," and it floored me.
If you guys like writing or aspire to be a writer, definitely check out The End of the Tour.
Yeah.
My number 2 is not in the English language, which is rare for me.
That is I don't know about that.
Last award season, I was given a screener of this movie, Wild Tales.
Wild Tales.
And it sat. I think I even gave it to a friend. It sat on his living room table for like 3 months.
Really?
And I didn't get around to it. I was scared. You got to be in the right, mood to watch a foreign film. And I finally put in Wild Tales.
Okay.
And it has my highest rating of 4 stars.
Wow.
I fucking loved it. It is I forget if it's 5 or 6 different vignettes of revenge.
Interesting.
And it's very Tarantino-esque almost. I loved every story. I loved how it fit, in with the others thematically.
Yeah.
It's brilliant filmmaking, and that filmmaker is going to have a very bright future in Hollywood.
This is great.
If you like foreign films and you like some violence and black humor,
I do.
Definitely check out Wild Tales because it is a legit masterpiece.
I like our top 10 lists today. They're like complementing each other.
This is going very well.
I think so.
I thought you were gonna have a bunch of dumbass shit.
Yeah, Jurassic World maybe.
Yeah, they're gonna be like Jurassic World, Ant-Man. I'd be like, fuck you, Mark.
No. I mean, I actually saw a lot more movies this year than I did last year.
I'm impressed. You are coming along, and now it is time for your number 1 of 2015.
Number 1
was it,
so
Mark
far?
Reilly? Tell us.
I don't know. I don't think this will get knocked out. To be honest with you, Sicario is my number 1.
Okay.
I can't get it out of my head. I need to see it again because I loved it so much. The performances across the board, I need to see again because they're so layered. I want to experience Benicio del Toro again.
I'll bring you the score because I got it on CD. I'll give it to you. It'll be your Christmas gift.
I would love it. Please do.
Yeah.
It's so that movie across the board, everything about it. And my friend Dylan Kennan, he's one of the guys. Towards the end, that puts down. I can't remember the names, but I saw he popped in there, and I didn't even recognize him because he was just hitting it. Everybody involved was so good. You getting some breaking news?
No.
I like it.
Sorry about that.
No.
I didn't mean to interrupt your number 1 spiel.
No, I just can't heap praise enough on this. And Emily Blunt, she's nowhere near any of these awards talk. I haven't seen everything, so I can't. It's unfair. I'm totally biased, but she just did this understated, quiet performance, and it is a bleak outcome with her character. To end it the way they did, I'm getting chills just thinking about the ending too. I'm going to
call in sick to work today. Let's just go back to your place, Sicario again.
I would totally do that.
Because it's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
And my number 1, which is not really going to surprise anybody,
really?
Is Spotlight.
Okay.
Spotlight, I think, is probably your best picture frontrunner right now.
Yeah,
that
that's what I'm
doesn't
hearing.
validate my taste or anything. I have a lot of personal history with Spotlight.
You were breaking some of the casting and the.
We broke the
filming
cast and the filmmaker. I held the news that Tom McCarthy was going to direct the project for more than a year, because how it was asked of me was that Tom wanted to be flying under the radar so that he could conduct research without everyone knowing he's the director of this Catholic Church movie.
Ooh, that's interesting.
So I worked with the producers for a solid year, constantly checking in. Is now okay? Is now okay? I did a coordinated break with the Boston Globe when it was announced that Tom was going to direct it. I broke most of the cast.
Yeah.
So I'm just very kind of proud that, because I was just always passionate about it. I always thought it was a really important project. and I wanted to be as helpful as I could in the process, rather than be destructive or report on something prematurely and have something fall through.
I appreciate that so much because I know the subject matter, and
so I
know
had
this
history
movie.
with it.
Yeah,
and when Open Road invited me to see it, it was like one of the first, if not the first, press screening, and I think I felt like I was the first person they pulled aside afterwards to be like, well, what did you think?
Nice.
And I told them, and I was like, you guys really have something on your hands here. Like, this is a special film. It made my lower lip quiver. Like, I'm from Boston. I'm a journalist. Like, I'm predisposed to liking it.
Sure.
Because that headline, landed on my doorstep.
Yeah.
In Boston.
Yeah. That's amazing.
But just the power of the story, the performances that Tom McCarthy gets, and it's not a showy work like Mad Max, but Tom McCarthy is so deserving of Best Director.
Good.
The way that he corralled this whole production. I'm glad that it is getting the love and recognition that it seems to be getting from critics and from the town and the industry, and I think it has a very bright, shiny future.
Good.
So,
well, yeah.
Check out Spotlight if you haven't seen it, guys.
I'm not surprised. That's what I'm hearing. So those are the top 10. I will say I loved it. I loved hearing your top 10.
Yeah, this was fun, man.
Because, as you guys see, Jeff sees everything. He gets to go to the Toronto Film Fest, Sundance. You're going again to Sundance, huh?
Going again with my boy Matt Donnelly. We're going to have some fun in the snow.
Yeah, you guys.
I'm looking forward to seeing Goat and Kevin Smith's Yoga Hosers.
I can't wait to see Goat, too. That's a great story.
The Brad Land hazing memoir.
Yeah, the hazing.
With Nick Jonas, no less. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun 2016. What are you most excited about next year, Mark?
I mean, of course I'm geeky, so, there's a lot of the geeky stuff, but Goat kind of is up there because of what...
Goat. Give me the real Mark Reilly fucking... What are you excited about next year? Batman, it's like, come on, Suicide Squad, Tarzan.
No, not Tarzan.
We didn't even talk about Tarzan today.
I know. The Tarzan trailer didn't do much for me. I was just kind of like...
I'm giving David Yates the benefit of the doubt.
So am I. I mean, it's unfair to judge the movie from a trailer, but you can judge the trailer.
But is there anything that jumps out next year where you're like, I'm first in line for this movie?
Well, yeah, Rogue One, Star Wars.
Yeah, that's it?
Well, that's one of them.
Okay. That's next December?
That's next December, and then Batman v Superman, Civil War, the big ones. I mean, that's kind of what Geek Nation, I mean, kind of it's all in the name. I'm putting that's what I see all the time. But for you, I listen because what are you looking forward to?
I think Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
I'm fucking stoked about that more so than Batman and Civil War and whatever it may be.
Okay.
Pretty pumped for that. So
that one's going to be a great year. Deadpool, that's one too.
Is there anything that you want to happen?
I don't know. Do you mean like casting wise or? No, let me think. What do we do? I can't really think of anything I want to happen. I'd have to prep for that. I don't know. I want all these movies, these superhero movies, to be good to justify the flooded market. That's kind of what I want to happen. Because I don't want these movies to just kind of show up and be like, see, look, they're all on screen together, and they're not focusing on a story.
I just want a good Crow movie with a good actor.
I don't know if you're going to get that, man.
Yeah, that may be asking a lot. And what else do I want? I mean, I want another fucking David Fincher movie. I want. I
would love that. Doctor Strange. Martin Bridger from the live chat. Yes, Doctor Strange. I want. Magnificent Seven. That's interesting. I want to hear. I want to see that.
I want Richard Kelly to get back behind a camera.
Ooh,
it's time. He deserves another shot.
Where has he been?
Yeah,
I just watched Donnie Darko the other night. That's a great movie.
Let's not forget about Richard Kelly, Hollywood.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that'll do it for Meet the Movie Press in 2015. We have to go.
Yes, that's Meet the Movie Press for the year of 2014. My God, we've been in 2014 and 2015. Can you believe it? Of the Meet the Movie Press. We're going strong.
We've been rocking and rolling. You got any fun Christmas plans?
Not really, no. Just seeing family. I'm local pretty much, Orange County, so we're just kind of sticking around doing presents and lighting Christmas trees. What about you? You're staying in town.
I'm sure I'll do the traditional Jewish Christmas of a movie and Chinese food. Maybe I'll go see Daddy's Home. Daddy's Home or Point Break, one of those.
You're going to see Point Break?
Something just populist and silly and escapist.
Okay, yeah.
So
I got it.
Happy holidays to everyone and a happy new year. Be safe out there.
Yes, everyone, and thank you.
And yes, thank you for watching and listening and commenting and rating and subscribing and all that stuff.
Listen to Jeff. Listen to your good pal Jeff. Please please just rate and subscribe and comment. You're all on the live chat. I love seeing this. Thank you, and thank you all on the live chat for making fun of me for not seeing movies. I understand it. But this is Meet the Movie Press, the last show of 2015. We will see you next year, 2016, and come back and see us.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.